comic book people out there, it's Wednesday. That means it's comic book day, and it is a great comic book day. Let me show you what I got. First up is Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps issue number 3. Hal Jordan is pretty much taking on the entire Sinestro Corps all by himself in this issue. Well, not really. He's just taking on a lot of them, and he's doing a pretty darn good job. It's a good issue. It's great to see the Green Lantern Corps back in action. Also really cool to see that the Sinestro Corps are also going to be their main nemesis. Wonder Woman issue number 5. Wonder Woman has been helping out Cheetah to do her own little side quest so that she'll help her out to try to figure out what happened to Themyscira. She's also been doing this whole storyline where it's like she's going parallel to Steve Trevor. However, their stories are going to intersect in the next issue. There hasn't been any answers given as to what's happened to Wonder Woman's background and why everything has been so convoluted, but that's something that's going to be addressed soon. Titans issue number 2. The Titans are taking on one of their former enemies, Kadabra, whose magic was capable of creating a duplicate copy of the Titans, but just in their younger form. So we get to see the old Titans versus the new Titans. This is probably my favorite read that came out this week. Steve Rogers' Captain America issue number 4. Even though the cover makes it seem as though this is a huge tie-in for the Civil War storyline, it really isn't. This is more giving background as to why Steve Rogers is an agent of Hydra and how his history has been all messed up. And of course, we all know this isn't going to be a permanent thing, and this is something that's going to be fixed later on down the line. Star Wars issue number 22. The Rebels take over a Star Destroyer. That's just about the entire story. They take over a Star Destroyer so that they can go on another mission and use this Star Destroyer. I don't mean to downplay the Star Wars comic books in any way. I do like this storyline. In fact, every time I read an issue, it feels as though I am reading some sort of continuing storyline in between the movies. Next is Action Comics number 962. This is the conclusion to the entire Doomsday storyline. Although it doesn't really answer questions as who the mysterious guy is that's been monitoring the entire battle and who the new Clark Kent is. But still, this is a good conclusion to the battle that took place, and it's also great to see Wonder Woman help out. Finally, the last book I got was Batman Detective Comics number 939. As the cover suggests, it is very Red Robin-centric. The entire storyline is focusing on Batwoman's father, who's a higher-ranking military official who thinks that the League of Shadows are going to be invading. Batman thinks that this is complete BS, and obviously they're going to war with each other. Tim Drake, also known as Red Robin, has come to a decision about his future career as being a superhero. I'm incredibly nervous to find out what's going to be happening with Tim Drake's character in the next issue, so I'm very anxious for that to come out. But definitely a good read. But anyways, that was my comic load for this week. What did you guys get? Leave comments down below. I'll just leave it at that. Be sure to give a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, check out my Patreon site when you get a chance, and I'll join you guys with another video very soon. Peace, love, namaste, and I'll see you guys later. Peace. My question's for James.
I'm shocked. Shocked.
I mean, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm a huge Tim Drake fan, and there's been some rumors that I've been reading online that his character is not only going to be retired, but also going to be killed off. And I've noticed in the New 52 universe that his character is vastly different from what he was before the universe rebooted and everything. And I know his character now is somewhat more arrogant, a little bit more full of himself. Are we going to be seeing him return back to a more humble Tim that we had before?
First off, I'll say don't believe what you read on the internet.
Thank you. Thank you.
Tim Drake is my favorite character in all of comics. There is no character I love more in comic books than Tim Drake. I've almost gotten the symbol tattooed on my arm like 3 different times.
I have it
right there. You go. So yeah,
so we saw young Steve Orlando, and I was just young. Nobody told me this is the time travel.
But honestly, like the Tim that I am writing in Detective is the Tim I grew up with. That is the heart of what I am trying to do with the character. He really is the heart of everything moving forward, and like keep reading. If you are a Tim Drake fan, you are going to be very excited about what comes.